I wanted to play that little snippet when talking about Cornel West because he was a disappointment when he announced for a lot of people, one of which was these two. He was a disappointment to them. But what I'm talking about is Cornel West is a disappointment to the left movement, to third party activists. Like he really had the opportunity to make a difference with his candidacy, specifically with the Green Party, and he, you know, ran scared when the establishment started attacking him. His friends from the Harvards and all the Ivy League schools started calling him up and saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" He got Peter, I run campaigns into the ground doll, and then that's what exactly happened. It was so weird. He did the Jimmy Dore interview. And remember what I called the Jimmy Dore interview. If you didn't see it when I was playing it before the show start, the interview that Jimmy Dore has with Cornel West, I labeled that as the most counterproductive interview of 2023. Because it was so counterproductive for Cornel West. And that was the beginning of his downfall. After that, it was every major news story that came out about him was a bad one. Before that, he had major news stories, but it was like he slayed him on CNN. He did this on this show. It was positive stories. Or him going from People's Party to Green Party. That was a positive switch. So the major stories he was having pre-Jimmy Dore were those. And then it was after that he just started making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. What he calls being a jazz man. That's what he calls it. And he had a real shot, especially now that we see what's happening with Joe Biden. You're seeing the collapse of Joe Biden. You're seeing the panic. This is a real chance for third-party candidacies. This opportunity here. Now, let's say he stayed with the Green Party. That means Dr. Jill Stein would not be running right now. So it would be one less candidate for third-party activists to be voting for. So, yeah, you got RFK. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's not grassroots. He takes money from corporate. He takes money from everywhere. So he's going to have the ability to raise money and get on ballots. And Cornel West is going to get on ballots, but he's not going to get on some of the most important ballots. And this is an example we always bring up, due dissidence, and we do too. Just for Texas and California alone, those two states, it requires 500,000 signatures alone. Him running on the Green Party eliminates that as a task. So, him switching from the Green Party, him hiring Peter Dow. Let me back up. Him hiring Peter Dow, first disappointment. Not first, but one of the major disappointments. The interview on Jimmy Dore, where he basically was a cheerleader for Joe Biden, basically cheerleading for the lesser of two evils. Disaster. And then to go from the Green Party with literally no good reason that he has articulated yet to this day. They have some hurdles. You mean normal candidate shit? They need me to do some stuff like show up to debates. Normal candidate shit. So it was flimsy. Everybody knows why he left the Green Party and decided to go independent without an infrastructure or enough volunteers to do anything. I think RFK, he said it on the show. He said he has like, it was like 100,000 volunteers. Cornel West doesn't have anything near that. Nothing near that. So, and we've had who? Because what do we, when we say something and we're the lone voices saying something, there's always, oh, RBN, there they are again, agitating, until intellectuals come on and say the same thing. And which intellectuals, some of the biggest intellectuals in this left sphere, have come on this show and have said exactly what let me change that. Two came on this show, and one who didn't come on this show and say it, and that's Shama Sawan on her own show. What was it on this show? On her own show, called it a disappointment. The hiring of Peter Dow. And then Margaret Kimberly and Ajamu Baraka on RBN both said this was both said that this was a terrible decision made by Cornel West to leave the Green Party. Both of them said that. Later on, Dr. Jill Stein says that in subsequent interviews. But Ajamu describes it as historic misstep. Historic. And I agree. This 2004 seems different as far as electorally. It doesn't, is a lot of things, dynamics happening at the same time. It doesn't seem like the establishment is going to have the same ability to fool as many people into Trump derangement as they did in 2020. The Palestinian genocide that's happening is causing a shifting or a lack of support behind Joe Biden. And then any third party candidate or any left third party candidate, because Robert F. Kennedy is third party, but he's not left. I wouldn't call him left. Would be in line with all of those 70% of 18 to 34-year-olds who are disapproving of Biden's handling of the conflict. So this is why a third-party candidacy right now has very fertile ground to grow, larger than it's grown before. That doesn't mean it's going to go from now getting 2% to getting 10%, but you can grow from 2% to getting 4%. This is the opportunity. And if Cornel West stayed with the Green Party, Jill Stein would not be in there. You wouldn't be necessarily splitting votes, independent votes between RFK and Cornel West, because I don't see them as the same supporters. I see RFK supporters as more as libertarians, with an occasional person who calls themselves a leftist. But it's more of a leftist who's in line, like a libertarian leftist. So right now, Cornel West would be in droves receiving and building the Green Party apparatus and making it into the party that you believe it should be and what it's not right now. So it's monumental, the decision for him to leave, to not run as a Green. This is monumental. He wants to play it down like, oh, this is not a big deal. I'm not that person. It is a big deal, and he was that person. Do we hear the establishment bringing him on to tear him down? When's the last time you saw him on a corporate network to do something like that? When? Wasn't it with the Green Party? Didn't he go from the People's Party? Then he had a couple of interviews just for running People's Party. Then when people figured out the People's Party is some bullshit, it was sporadic. When he switched to the Green Party, he was on damn near every week. He was on multiple articles being written about him every week, multiple segments being done on him every week. The moment he leaves the Green Party, it's tumbleweeds. And he knows that.